Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best ultra-wide monitor for gaming.
Starting at number 5.
Samsung CRG9. At 49 inches, count them. Samsung CRG9 is positively huge. It's also immensely bright at 1000 nits, though that only applies to local hotspots, rather than panel-wide. Finishing up the specs behind that, you have excellent claimed color fidelity with 95% coverage of the DCI-P3 gamut, a 3000:1 static contrast from the VA panel, a 120Hz refresh, and a gentle 1800R. All in Samsung styling, it really is, still, a great shout for the best ultra-wide monitor you can get in 2022. We've bumped it below its Neo successor and some other models as there are a few caveats, as well as it being a bit old now. There's no true HDR capability despite the claims, in part due to the limited number of local dimming zones, and there's no USB-C connectivity. The CRG9 is also not the absolute fastest in terms of pixel response now, but it's reasonably quick, and most gamers and users won't care. Instead, they'll be blown away by the ridiculous scale of this monitor and the mind-blowing, immersive experience.
Coming at number 4.
LG UltraGear 45GR95QE. The LG UltraGear 45GR95QE-B is one of the best OLED screens we've tested this year, and it brings an immersive curve and ultra-wide brilliance to the table too. Whether you're into a fast-paced FPS games or immersive adventures, this screen is going to help your Steam library shine. Measuring in at 45 inches, it's only slightly smaller than its gargantuan 49-inch Samsung rival. It's 1440p, but the panel delivers surprisingly sharp image quality despite its lower resolution. Not to mention its OLED abilities really pack a punch, breathing life into games like Cyberpunk 2077 during testing. Nice to have extras like an included remote and impressive RGB lighting round the back, feats that help the UltraGear 45GR95QE-B stand out in a busy market. Its 800R curve also earns it a place on this specific list, as it provides a wrap-around effect that'll engross you in your favorite adventures. Both this screen and the Samsung OLED G9 offer a very similar experience for roughly the same price, but LG's display edges slightly forward when it comes to OLED brilliance.
At number 3.
Samsung Odyssey OLED. It's large and in charge, and at 49 inches, the Samsung Odyssey OLED G9 is our favorite curved ultra-wide monitor at the moment. It has plenty of other great specs in its arsenal too, but it provides an immersive experience that trumps both its curvy rivals and flat alternatives on the market. The OLED G9 is far from perfect, and its price means many of you probably won't even consider this display. However, it does rise to the OLED challenge presented by LG, and we're thoroughly impressed by the screen's HDR performance and outrageous contrast. Arguably, it could be the last screen you have to buy for a while too, but only if you're looking to invest a substantial amount of money in your setup. If price is the only thing stopping you picking up this display, you'll be pleased to know that a cheaper version without smart features is on the way. For whatever reason, this one has streaming services and the likes built in, meaning it's almost a gaming TV. These features are arguably a little redundant given you'll likely hook it up to a powerful rig, and the monitor's OSD leaves a lot to be desired. In truth, we're slightly torn on whether the Odyssey OLED G9 or the LG UltraGear 45GR95QE-B is our absolute go-to curved gaming monitor at this sort of price point. Ultimately, the G9 wins us over on the ultra-wide front, but playing games like Cyberpunk 2077 on Samsung's screen proves it's also a winner on the OLED front.
Number 2 of my list.
AOC CU34G2X. No one would blame you for thinking, at least initially, that the best ultra-wide monitors will cost you an arm and a leg, and that is true to an extent, but the AOC CU34G2X is here to firmly buck that trend. Simply put, if you want to reap the benefits of an ultra-wide display but you don't want to fork out the big bucks, then this is the screen you've been looking for. It's not got any flashy, attention-grabbing design quirks, but upon closer inspection, it has specs inside that will get you excited even if you're a twitchy or competitive gamer. The CU34G2X offers both a 144 Hz refresh rate and 1 millisecond response time, two of the most important specs for speedy gaming, which means that, as well as the gorgeous ultra-wide resolution and picture, you can be sure you're playing at high speeds too. Unfortunately, the AOC CU34G2X does lack a little when it comes to color vibrancy and HDR performance, but that's a compromise we're willing to make in order to get the rest of the specs, and that tremendous ultra-wide screen in a monitor that falls under the $500/$500 mark. A brilliant entry point into the best ultra-wide monitor market, and the perfect place to start for anyone considering upgrading from, or making a change from, a 1080p or 1440p screen.
And number 1.
Alienware AW3423DWQD. The new Alienware 34AW3423DWQD OLED monitor has rocketed up the internet's gaming monitor guides and rightfully sits atop our best ultra-wide monitor pile. The new QD OLED technology has finally come to gaming screens, and it delivers absolutely. This screen has better contrast and a faster response than any LCD panel we've ever seen. In our testing, everything just looked richer, more convincing, and more immersive and faster, sharper, and even clearer. Only a couple of things are present that really raise the eyebrow, and even then it's not by much. The supposedly brighter HDR 1000 mode actually results in a picture a little duller than the more usable HDR 400 setting. The slightly low pixel density also means this isn't absolutely perfect as an all-purpose display, and, if we're nitpicking, which we are, higher refresh panels will offer better latency. But for most types of gaming and productivity, and all-around use, this monitor is an absolute revelation. Easily the best ultra-wide monitor you can buy right now, and one of only a few panels to receive a perfect score from us.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.